be a little late. Okay, so today's class, so I did it, remember, a little bit backwards. I decided to do the system monitoring and maintenance a little bit later. So today we're gonna go over a little bit of we're gonna go over system monitoring and maintenance and how that's done in Linux. We're gonna do it two different ways. We're gonna do it through the command line, and we're also going to do it through the graphical user interface, so everybody can kind of like start getting used to like how that looks, just in case you want to do things through the command line. And actually, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. So today we're going to do it two different ways, and there will be a new tool that I will introduce, and this one is not that you'll have to like know it and like kind of become a master at it, but it's just an introduction, just so we can start doing a little bit of system monitoring and maintenance. So the importance of monitoring your systems, it's crucial for maintaining the health, stability, and performance of a Linux system, or really any system. So when you do monitoring, it helps detect and prevent potential issues before they escalate into major problems. And it also allows you to see which process is taking too much CPU, storage, memory, which one might need more, and it does help. So it allows you to improve the system and kind of allocate the different resources to where it's needed most, or maybe kill processes that are taking up too much of those resources. So some of the resources that you have to monitor for your systems, it's the CPU, the memory, the disk usage, and network activity. Remember the last class we went over a few network commands, and then I introduced everybody to nmap, and this is just one of the tools that you have in order to monitor your system, especially like we're going to be deploying a web server. So these are the things that we need to make sure that the web server is not taking up too much of the CPU, not too much disk is used, like the memory is working fine, and then also making sure that the connections with the requests we're receiving to our web servers are not malicious activities, not from malicious actors and trying to do malicious activity. Some of the monitoring tools that we'll go over today, it's going to be top, htop, free, vmstat. This means disk free, disk usage, if top, and this is and load. I think this one is for networking. And besides these already built-in tools that come with Linux, for more advanced and also like enterprise and like company monitoring solutions, Prometheus is something that offers like comprehensive monitoring capabilities. I want to show you all the website. Oops. So as you can see, this is also something that is open source. And, so if you don't want to do everything from the command line and just like from your system, Prometheus is like a tool that you can use to do monitoring, and those give you real-time alerts. And I think you can also, so it gives you like visualization as to like what is going on with your system. And this is something that's a little bit more advanced, but like the principles that we'll learn today basically all apply to Prometheus. And I think this is also a project from the Linux Foundation, or here it is, Cloud Native Foundation, which is supported by the Linux Foundation. So these are all companies that use Prometheus to do monitoring, like you see here, Docker. So it's just, SoundCloud, a lot of companies, and this is just to make sure that their servers are fine, like well and running. And this is something that I'll try to record a separate video on just for the future to see, like, to show how it works. The first two monitoring tools that we are going to try to cover will be top and HTOP. So all of these are all command line tools. They're interactive, like, and they're going to help you monitor the system processes. So these two commands, they display the CPU, the memory, and they process information in real time. So that way, if you see that, again, something is taking too much up of your resources, you can try to go ahead and kill that process or figure out a way to fix it. The free command is going to display system memory usage statistics. So it's going to include the total, the use, and like the free memory that you have in your system. This one is for virtual memory statistics and the CPU usage and things like that. So this is virtual, just remember it's just for V. And we're going to also do a little bit of system maintenance. So I did cover that a little bit. I forgot in which class. But whenever, like, one way to kind of make sure that when you are running a server or a system is that you are up to date with all of, like, that the versions of the packages or like the software or drivers that are installed in your Linux are up to date, to make sure that the security patches are installed. And this with system maintenance, it's gonna help you keep the system up to date, and again, because there are ways where when it comes to like penetration testing, there are people that they scan a lot of like the servers that are on the internet, and they try to see which version is installed of the server, and with that they try to figure out which of the vulnerabilities that server has, and then they try to exploit it. So that is why it's really important to update your systems regularly. And the package managers here is like apt, yum, and DNF. So apt, that is one is for Ubuntu, Debian, Kali. Yum is for Rocky, Alma, Linux, and DNF. You can kind of use it interchangeably between Yum, DNF. I know Rocky Linux uses this one, and Red Hat as well. So to also help you like manage the services, this is called with system CTL. So this is, again, like whenever you are seeing that a process is taking too much, you can start it, stop it, pause it, do all these things, and you can do it with this command, and then with the process that you need to modify. Another way to do system maintenance is by making sure that the file system is consistent with everything, that all the files that you have installed are, let's say, in the right folders. Remember, like for Linux, every directory, even though a lot of the names, they may seem like arbitrary and a little random, they do serve their purposes. And let's say when you create like a distribution or something like that, certain files for certain software programs, things like that, they're expected to go in certain folders. And that's why you make sure, like, whenever you do install something, make sure that the installation, the configuration file is going into the right directory in the file system. If not, that could cause problems whenever other processes are trying to access it and they're looking for this configuration file in a specific place that is not there. And it also will help you like with this cleanup. So we're going to use like the tools like DU to identify large files and directories, and that will help you just free up the disk space. We're going to also look at the log management, which will use the journal CTL command line. And it should, if I'm not mistaken, I'll run through a little bit of exercise, and I think it should save some of this stuff from like last week. I don't know if it gets deleted. And last but not least, we're going to go over df, du, and we're doing if stop. So that way these here have to do with the networking. And these are just the different command line tools that you will use just like as a basic system administration. And again, Prometheus, that is something that you can go, that is a little bit more advanced for different companies. And I wanted to, let me share this other screen. Okay. So we're gonna install a different terminal. I think it's like called a terminal multiplexer, which is basically, so here's the terminal. Let's say it is just the, is it big? So if you want to like run different processes in the terminal, it is possible. You would just open like a new tab and you would just kind of like click back and forth from here. Or you could also open a new window for the terminal. And then it would just open a new one on the side or wherever. So I want to install this one, which will allow you to basically have different screens all in your terminal. Let me go ahead. I think it's install. So it is called TMUX, which is again as a terminal multiplexer. And let me see. So here we are in the terminal, the TMUX. As you can see here, it does look a little bit different. So here it basically means 0. That means this is the first window. Here, this is the name of this pane, because we're going to have different panes showing different things. And this can be renamed. I have some of the commands that we're gonna go over within Kmode. Let me see. Where's the one that I found? So the good thing about Tmux, so I'm gonna call it Tmux, like not the clothing store or the online store. So it helps you like let's say you're trying to run different programs. When you run them in the terminal multiplexer, it decouples your programs like from the main terminal. So just in case you close, because anytime you close the terminal, we can gonna do this. So whenever you close the terminal, whatever process you're running will be disconnected. And one thing with this terminal, the terminal multiplexer, is that it can still run the process. Or let's say you close it and the process does stop, you can just easily run a command which will restart it for you, the different processes. So we're gonna go ahead and enter into Teams again. So there are quite a few key bindings when it comes to this one that I will again, send you the table with this. I didn't realize that there was so many key bindings for this. I thought it was just going to be so easy. So right now we are in CMOOC. So this is how we're going to have different window panes in order to see the different processes. So let's say for things we can do, basically we're going to run a new command. This flag means session, and after the S flag you will have your session name. So we are just going to name this one CPU oops, monitoring. Just let me see. One set. Oh. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Okay. So whenever you're already in a session, you have to exit and then you have to go ahead and do which is so you can kind of see here. So the one that we're using is bash, and then this is the name of it. I guess I could have named it too. CPU. Jillian Kara said that she's in the waiting room.
Yeah, I let her in a couple minutes ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
it says that she's joining.
Oh, okay. Sorry, because I just saw the message in the.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I don't know why that's not working.
So whenever you want to kind of run a command to let Tmooc know, you're just gonna do Control B, and then you're gonna type the different command. So right now I want to do split the window pane horizontally. So I'm gonna do Control B, and then I'm gonna hit the. Oh, why didn't I do it? There we go. So now here I have two different ones. And in these two, I can actually have two different processes running and I can see them side to side. Whereas before, if we were doing the terminal, and you see here, it's a different window. And also I wanted to show you that this is independent from this one. So you could have the terminal multiplexer running, and let's say you do need just a regular terminal for any reason, it is decoupled, so then you can run whatever other different process here while you're doing all these different things. But again, it just makes it easier so you can have it all in one screen rather than having a lot of separate windows, or even just like different tabs open in the same terminal, just kind of like with no names and things like that. So close this one. And if whenever you want to move between your window panes, you're going to do Control B, and then you're going to do the different arrows. So it's, Control B, then I'm going to go to the right. And if you had one over here, which let me see if I can try to do it. Which here it is. So now I have each of these are different processes. So if I want to switch between all of these, again, it will be Control B, and I can just do the arrow, and again Control B, and then the arrow up to change to the top one. And then as you can see, it just highlights it to let you know in which one you are in. And let's say that you want to, let me go to this one. You want to see which are all the Q, the bindings. You're going to do Control B, and here you go. You're going to press the question mark, and it lets you know exactly how, which are the key bindings and what it tells you, and what you can do. with each one, and you would just go up and down with the arrows because this is all on the terminal. So you would just, as you can see here, you can even do it by number if you haven't renamed it. So to kill the current window, you would do this one. Again, when it says C, it means control. You see rename current session. So let's say we want to rename this one. So we're gonna do control B. And so say like, oh, it's cut off. So we're just gonna rename the CPU. And here you go. Let's see if you see a question here. Okay. And then just to, you're gonna quit if you wanna exit. And let's say that you do want to use the mouse, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, I think it's, you just set G mouse.
What are we focusing on today?
So today's going to be, sorry, the system monitoring and maintenance. So I did go over like the slides that I sent earlier, just some of the commands that we're going over, and I wanted to show what is called the terminal multiplexer. So rather than what was I gonna say? So yeah, so it's like rather than trying to open a lot of different terminal windows, we can do it all here in one by installing let me close the, yeah, we'll close the terminal by installing the terminal multiplexer, and this is how you're going to do it. Let me send that in the chat. Am I choppy with everybody else? Let me try to disconnect from the Wi-Fi. So this command, you're gonna run in your terminal, and that is how it, I'm just gonna call it Tmux, or it's gonna be installed. So the terminal. Okay. Okay, so let me. See. Let's see. So then that should kill this. So okay, there we go. So now here is where, for example, we might just run the commands where we're monitoring the CPU. So as you can see here, this is updates live. So then it just shows you the most recent thing that is happening at the moment. And I think, then you can scroll down to see all the processes that are kind of running, what is taking a lot. So this one is going to be the CPU, as you can see here, the Docker. Where's the Docker? It just disappeared. Yeah, and here is the process ID. So let's say we would see a process that is just taking like absolutely too much of our CPU, you can see here it says like the percentage of it, like how much memory and things like that. You would then open a new terminal or a new TM, like a new pane, and then just put kill, and then you would just put the process ID and it will shut it down. So let me try to go ahead and show everybody that. Let me try to create a new one. Is it now to the new one? It's not working. So when you kind of hover over it, it does tell you some things. You can even actually do it here. If you want to kill it, just in case it's taking too much, or you can stop down and do horizontal split. There we go. We can try to in here. Let's say what was one of the commands that we are going to use. The other one. Let's say in the other one, we want to monitor how much disk has been used. And I think, let me see. Give me a second. This one is still all in the CPU. And then to start a new session, oh my goodness. Oh, something that I wanted to show you all. So here we're going to go into system monitor. So this one is basically the same thing that we're doing in the terminal multiplexer. Let me just close this one. So here you see the same thing. It shows you like, which is the process name that is going on. You see here, it says that I'm running bash. It says like how much percentage of the CPU is using. And this is like basically like kind of like the task manager from Windows. And it just shows you just a lot of the different things that are running. And again, if you were to see, you see it here, I ran the top command. So it shows, and then like how much this top command, because I am monitoring like how much of the memory is being used, like how much of the disk it's reading. I haven't actually like written it, meaning like I haven't saved it, so that is why this here says NA. So then this is another way that you can kind of see it, visualize the resources. So here is the CPU, and I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger so you can click here and then just show you. So here is just the memory, how much memory you've used, if you've swapped any of the memory, and then this is the network, just letting you know. You see, so it's sending, so yeah, I guess my network is the one that's messed up. We'll see. And then here is the file system. So these are all the file systems that you have mounted on your computer. And again, this is something that we can see in the terminal, but this is just like a little visual representation. And you can do the same processes, like to say that here in the terminal, but maybe if, let's say, you feel a little bit more comfortable doing it from the graphical user interface rather than the command line, this is also an option. Let me see if I can end the process without just something. Yes, and then you see here is the ID. And this is what you would type in the terminal. Let's say terminal. And let's say I don't want the genome calendar running anymore, so I can kill it here, or I can just type in kill and then 3315 here in the terminal. So you see it disappeared from here immediately. So this does the same thing. This is the genome shell. What is this? Housekeeping. Okay, yeah, so this is just kind of like another way of doing it is through the system monitoring. And I think you can also check, let me see. So I know we're doing the system, but network. Let me see, you can do advanced network. No, so this is just for the connection. If you want to do wired or Docker, things like that. But yeah, you can here just monitor the network. But let me go back to the terminal. Is it session? We're gonna target GPU. Let me just open different ones. What I wanted to do. There we go. So this one. Mix it from here, but I need a new window. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay, so I hope that y'all can hear me. I just got an update from myriad that says it's like something's happening with her computer and it's kind of frozen right now. So hopefully she'll be back on soon. I will keep you updated. She just restarted it again, so hopefully it works in a minute.
Hey, so I don't know what happened to my VirtualBox. It's happened to me before where so I restarted my computer because I kept having a pop-up. And now for some reason what it's telling me is that my Ubuntu basically image that I have installed in VirtualBox is corrupted. So now what is it? Did it say corrupted? Okay, so basically I have to reinstall Ubuntu on my VirtualBox machine. And that is going to take a while because I don't know what is going on. It's going to take me a while to troubleshoot it, but I would just rather install it from scratch. Lynn, I know you're the only one here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and just call time and try to reinstall Ubuntu on my VirtualBox to see what happened, what's going on, and I hope that it works. for the next time, and I am going to finish recording the rest of the session. And I'll go ahead and send it in the group chat, and I'll send it by email. Or actually, Jillian, would it be possible to, well, I can ask you this later. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the image and see what happened, because I don't want this to happen again. Because it's happened with my Kali, and basically what I did is just like I deleted it and I just reinstalled it, but I don't want this to happen again. So I'm just gonna try to figure out what happened. Once I install it, once I have everything going, I'll finish. Oh Lord, yeah, I'll finish recording the rest of the lesson, and I'll go ahead and send it over via Slack or via email. But Jillian, I'll go ahead and send you a message just so I can see if we can upload it to the YouTube channel for the Girl Develop It YouTube. Okay. So yeah, I'm so sorry, but let me go ahead and try to figure this out. I'm gonna have to spend quite a few, yeah, just troubleshooting it. But sorry again, so sorry.
No problem. Things happen.
Yeah, I know.
No
It's just, but also it's because I was kind of like messing with something. And I should, and you know what? This is why you always have a backup. Because if I had a backup, I would have just like spun that up and I would have been okay, but I didn't create a backup. Silly me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I'm kind of in that problem myself.
Yes, I know that is like my biggest problem. It's just like, it'll be okay because I changed some things around, and apparently that was not a good thing. So yeah, this is another thing. I'll talk about backups for the during the class, so that way this doesn't happen again. But I'm so sorry, and I'll try to have everything ready so we can be caught up by Thursday. Okay.
Look it out.
Okay. Have a good night.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.